Thank you. Awesome. Well, welcome to the Founders Games of the Webic Global Impact Week. We are continuing today with the fifth and last session, and we are going to be focused on FinTech and blockchain startups. I personally love these because I work in the blockchain space, so I'm excited to see what you guys have for us today. A big welcome to the investors, jury members that are presenting. The startups have to impress, and we would love to welcome you guys individually. We've got Tobias Bauer, principal of Blockchain Founders Fund. Hey, Tobias, how are you?
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing great. Calling out of Singapore at the moment.
Oh, very cool. I love Singapore. Good food there. All right. Next, we've got Matt Bodnar, co-founder and managing partner of Fresh Capital Group. How are you, Matt?
What's going on? Glad to be here.
Man, welcome. Excited to have you. And last but not least, and she's been helping out in a couple of other sessions today, but welcome back, Karina, founder and CEO of Nord Sloane Ventures. How are you?
I am very well. Good to see you again.
Yes, thank you. Well, awesome. I'm going to go over the rules really quickly. Each startup has 3 minutes to present their company with a video that they've prepared beforehand. Once the video is finished, we'll open up for about 3 to 5 minutes of Q&A with the jury. The jury is going to take this time to ask any specific questions that they may have. And from there, they're going to start the evaluation process on their evaluation forms, where we will rank the companies in 5 different categories from a scale of 1 to 10. Those categories are going to be team capacity, project scalability, business approach, marketing approach, and the uniqueness of the idea. So at the end of the presentations today from each of the startups, we're going to open it up and have about 5 to 10 minutes of open feedback from the jury and any questions that they may have missed during the presentation. So let's get started. We're really excited, and we're going to kick it off today with bots. So we'll play their video now.
Hello, my name is Colin Groos. I'm one of the 3 founders of Bots. Together with Michiel Stokman and Stefan Beijer, we have created a unique app that let everybody in the world trade on exchanges by using trading algorithms. People don't have to know anything about trading anymore. They just choose an algorithm, they click play and sit back and relax and watch what happens. We have great returns inside the app. People on average have around 30, 40, 50% returns. And this is something what we give to everybody in the world. On the front end, it looks really easy as Spotify. And in the back end, it's as complex as Flow Traders or IMC. We've made our own connections, we have built our own exchanges, and we didn't do it alone. We have a team of around 30 experts, really advanced skilled people, and we are already in 16 countries available. We have more than 90,000 users. We have 12 million assets under management. We have raised around 9.5 million in funding. So we are doing actually really, really well, and we're growing really fast. So we are now looking for a partner that can help us scaling our product worldwide. If you are the one that can help us, let us know and maybe we can give it a go.
Bots trade better than humans.
One thing I have to say is this video was actually the first video we sent, and later on I sent another one with an update of it, because we now have like 95 people working at the company. We have 100 million assets under management. We almost have 1 billion in trade volume a month. So this was just from somewhere in March. It was an old video which Charlotte sent you. So sorry for that.
No worries. And welcome, Colin, man. I'll try not to be excited. I love your ads, but yes, I'll leave it there. Any questions for Colin and bots?
I'll jump in. So Colin, super cool idea. Really, really interesting. I'm curious, what are the assets that you can trade on the platform? Is it crypto focused? Can you trade bonds, stocks, treasuries, options? Like what sort of asset classes can you trade across the platform?
Yeah, well, at the moment in the app, currently there are only crypto bots, but we recently acquired a company that also let us trade in normal stocks, but also Forex and options, these things, because it's a normal fund. But then you also have to adopt the AFM licenses. So that's what we can offer now. And we also have built our own United World Exchange. The United World Exchange is actually an exchange where we can make data-lized stocks. So that means that we're making from, for example, the share of Tesla, we can make a U Tesla, and that's not a financial instrument. So this is something what we can scale all around the world without having to go to all the financial authorities. And that saves us a lot of time, and it makes us really scalable. So we can trade all kinds of assets.
And how do you guys monetize? What's the revenue model ultimately? I'm sure I don't know if you put it in place yet or not, but how do you think about, is it commission based or how's it, is it AUM fees? How does it work?
Yeah, we get a percentage of the trade volume. So we have around 100 million assets under management, and we have a trade volume of almost $1 billion a month. And we get a percentage of that. So we are now, I think, on average in the last 3 months on 1.5 million in revenue a month. And we are just live since May last year.
Awesome.
How do you acquire users?
Sorry?
How do you acquire users? How do you generate users?
In many ways. If you can imagine that you can earn a lot through, because 85% of our clients are making money with the app. I do also have a screenshot here, which is actually a screenshot of my personal app. And here you see, I just put in 75 euro in this one, and it made now in my app, it's also around almost 3,000 euro. But the returns that we can achieve with these algorithms, we knew that it was possible, and we just make it accessible for everybody in the world. And what would happen if you earn that much on you share it with all your friends? We have a referral program which is now in place. We can also give like 10 euro just to start with the bots, but we also have influencers connecting their names to bots. So for example, we have a Plan B bot, and then Plan B, he has 1.3 million followers, and he is promoting his own bot as well. So there are many different, can you imagine what would happen if you have a Kim Kardashian bot? And the bot creators, they also earn a lot. We have one bot creator team that's earning 300,000 euro a month.
Wow, that's
so
incredible.
Yeah, they're making beautiful returns. So these are our heroes. We can show it to our clients, and well, then of course they can make some money as well.
All right. Well, excellent. Any last questions for bots for now, and then we'll move on to the next one. Additionally, any other questions that we miss or may have later, we can ask at the end of the session.
At this moment, we are also live in 25 countries. So that's also something what was missing in the video. And we also raised our Series A round. So in total, we have raised around 23 million in funding. And now we are preparing our Series B round.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Colin.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Next up, we have Whrrl from India, and they're pre-seed. So Whrrl is a blockchain FinTech platform to reduce million-dollar frauds infesting the banking industry in warehouse receipt, finance, and a segment along with the social impact objective of increasing farmers' income. All right, let's check out their video.
Hi. Hi, I'm Abhishek Bhattacharya, a co-founder of Whrrl, India's largest blockchain platform, solving the post-harvest financing problem for small and marginal farmers using innovative warehouse receipt finance, while simultaneously preventing billions of dollars of banking frauds in this segment. Warehouse receipt finance is a key capital source for farmers that allows them to borrow money against the security of their crop and helps in better price realization by deferring the sales of their crops. However, the existing system is largely manual without any digital connectivity, creating high manpower cost, opportunities for stock pilferage, and massive frauds resulting in the creation of multiple intermediaries, choking the supply of credit to the needy farmers. globally the first application of blockchain in agri-financing, and Asia's first and the only asset-backed lending platform on blockchain. Whrrl's product suite comprises of a fintech lending platform and an e-trading marketplace. Using blockchain technology, Whrrl creates a trustless network of banks and warehouses, thereby enabling secured and risk-free lending platform, helping banks in unlocking credit flow to the ecosystem. In addition, Whrrl's unified platform covers the entire life cycle of a farmer in post-harvest activities, right from the storing, the harvest till selling of the crops online at a much later stage. Whrrl offers its platform as a service to a triangular set of B2B2C customers and thus has three streams of revenue. That is transaction fee from banks, implementation fee from warehouses, and commodity trade brokerage from farmers and traders. The lending platform is completely free for the farmers to benefit from. Currently, we are focused in expanding our warehouse receipt finance to other parts of the country, serving more farmers by onboarding more number of banks and warehouses. We are also adding our warehouse receipt finance to a decentralized finance protocol that will help us serve the 1.7 billion unbanked population across the globe. We will also be expanding our operations in the international markets, starting with Southeast Asian and African markets, and are actively canvassing these markets to commence operations soon. In the long term, we will be utilizing this platform for any sort of asset-backed loans. Whrrl has won accolades from across the globe from organizations such as the United Nations Development Programme, Mass Challenge USA, Microsoft, Binance, and many others. Having successfully implemented in across 5 states of India, Whrrl is currently live in 1,400 warehouses with more than $500 million of tokenized commodities, serving 8,000 plus farmers and helping them receive over 2 million plus in digital loans. Whrrl's approach to WHR finance has also helped us support certain SDGs goals such as 1, 2, 10, and few others. The diversified team behind Whrrl comes with decades of experience in areas like debt syndication, commodities, blockchain, and other IT solutions. We are Whrrl, and we are revolutionizing the face of warehouse receipt finance. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And now we have here with us Abhishek.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks. Questions? Any questions?
Yeah, Abhishek, super cool idea. Really, really interesting. I'm curious, I guess, tell me a little bit more about how you're sort of taking, what data are you taking at the warehouse and what kind of frauds are being perpetrated? How are you sort of taking that data, putting on the blockchain, and thus preventing the fraud?
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt, for your question. So the kind of data we are taking from the warehouse is every crop details. Any farmer comes and deposits any commodities, any agricultural commodities into the warehouse. We take all those details directly from the warehouse system via APIs to our blockchain system. Ours is a permission blockchain where we bring together banks, the warehouses, the customers, any other third parties, all of them together as nodes on the blockchain network, and it is directly based on the blockchain platform. So this is the kind of data we take in. And the frauds that we help prevent are, for example, forged receipts or fake receipts, and then multiple loans, like, for example, 2 different farmers or traders taking a loan against the same commodity from 2-3 different banks. And there have been direct examples like Access World fraud. Back then, I think $700 million, that was because of multiple loans. Then Qingdao scandal in China, it was because of fake receipts. So billions of dollars have been lost by banks because of all these frauds, which blockchain technology curbs in a moment. So that is the kind of work that we do.
So just paraphrasing it to make sure I understand, you're basically, you're sort of taking this inventory that's sitting in warehouses and saying, hey, we're putting it on the blockchain so that you can't just say, hey, I own, $1 million worth of corn or whatever that's sitting in this warehouse. And the bank will just take your word for it. Now it's, well, hey, check out this third-party blockchain verification that here's the farmer, here's the warehouse, here's the commodity, et cetera, et cetera.
Not just our word, you've understood it very right. And not just our word for that, the banks would actually have the option to send a third party or even their own people physically into the warehouse to get a check done, generate another secondary report, as a supportive evidence, which will also be pushed to the blockchain, and then the bank can proceed with the loan. So, not just our word, they can also verify it directly in the warehouse.
And is the customer the financial institution? Is it the farmer? Is it sort of a spread on the loans that are being issued as a result of the platform? How do you guys think about monetization?
Right. So what happens is that we do not charge farmers for anything. Our platform is completely free for the farmers to use because they are small and marginal farmers. They are not very well to do. So the platform is completely free to use for them. We are paid by the banks for the platform, for using the platform. For every loan, we take a percentage, and that's our revenue model. That's one part of our revenue model. Then we also take an implementation fee from the warehouses, which is the second part of our revenue model. And then eventually in future, we are about to start trading platform when the traders would be, the buyers and sellers, both sides would be paying us a brokerage fee. So these three are our revenue models at this point.
I have actually one last question.
Yes,
How scalable is this if you guys go from warehouse to warehouse and actually check all this inventory? And how long does it take you guys to onboard, let's say, a bigger farmer essentially on the platform?
Right. So it takes very less time because most of these warehouses are government warehouses. And I'm not just talking about India. We have also explored other markets like Australia, Singapore, then the Colombian region in South America. And it's pretty much similar in all countries. And what happens is that these are very secure warehouses. They have insurance against them, and they have the licensing ready. They just send us all of those documents. We just do an assessment of the warehouses and we onboard them. That's one-time process, and that too does not take more than maybe 2-3 days. And then we create a blockchain node for them on the platform, which is like a couple of hours worth of job, and that's it. Once that is done, the banks recognize those warehouses. They're already approved by the banks, by the way, because these are government warehouses mostly. And then the process starts immediately. Also, the banks and the warehouses can start using our platform even within a day or two, because we have two modes of operations. Either our customers, enterprise customers, can use our web-based panels, which we build for every different customer. And then by the time they are doing a pilot with us, they can API integrate with us during that time and then shift from those web-based parts to the API parts. That's how our current banks, as well as the warehouses, 1400 plus warehouses, that's how they are doing it with us. They started overnight using our web-based panels, and then they gradually took the time to integrate with us, their APIs, without disturbing business for even a single day.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yes,
Jacek, thank you so much. Great concept. Does someone else have another question?
Yes, I do have a quick question. Thank you very much for the presentation. I guess from my side will be, first of all, I may have missed it, but what is your ask? What are you looking for? But before you answer that question, perhaps you could elaborate on what are the challenges with acquiring new market share, and where are you planning to expand in the near future?
Absolutely. So currently, the challenges that we have from scalability is only that the government warehouses as well as the banks, they have pretty long sales cycles. So that takes a lot of time to convert. Once they're converted, it's good to go. But that sales cycle is pretty long because these are very traditional kind of organizations. But scalability is not a problem because we have plenty of warehouses in India. So we are in touch with almost everyone, every big major corporate, warehousing corporation in every different state of the country. Then major banks we are already in discussions with. India's largest private bank, we had started discussions quite some time back, but luckily they have come on board and they are just testing on the platform right now. They have almost come on board. So it takes a lot of time, but then we come through. And then scalability, in terms of scalability, we are expanding to other markets, like, as I said, Australia, Singapore, and a couple others. And there also, we are not going directly there. We are building out partnerships there, who will help us take there, which is going pretty well as well. It has worked for us in India, and we are seeing that it has started working for us in other areas as well. Karina, I hope that I answered that question. What was your first question, and is that out of it?
Yes, what are you looking for? What is your ask?
Sure. So currently we are going into, so we are a bootstrap startup. We have started back in 2019 Jan, 2.5+ years now. We are a bootstrap startup, but we have been mostly kept alive because of grants. We have received tremendous support in social impact by the government of India, the United Nations Development Program, Binance, Indian top business schools. Many such organizations have given us grants, but now we are looking for funding. And because of that, we have just stepped into decentralized finance, and we have started a token sale as well. So that's where, so funding is something we are looking for, because team is an issue. So we are looking to strengthen our team. We are looking to increase the market share. So for that, we need funding. That's one thing that we are looking for right now.
Excellent. Great. All right, Abhishek, thank you again with Whrrl. Great. Next up, we have Greenomy. Based out of Belgium, post-seed, they've raised about 815,000 euros so far. Their mission is to digitalize sustainability reporting from end to end and help companies and they're helping companies and financial institutions to measure their sustainability levels and make the transition towards a more sustainable economy.
Hello, my name is Alex Stevens. I'm CEO at Greenomy. Greenomy is a sustainability reporting SaaS that helps companies and financial institutions to measure, disclose, and improve their sustainability according to the new EU Sustainable Finance legislation. Now, what we are doing at Greenomy is that we're digitalizing everything from end to end with a company portal that helps companies generate the data, audit portal helping auditors to provide their assurance faster, an investor portal that helps investors screen their overall investment portfolios, and a lender portal that helps banks screen their loan books. To help companies improve their sustainability, investors and banks allocate their capital towards the more sustainable objectives and projects of our economy. At the end of the day, what Greenomy does is that we accelerate the transition to a more sustainable future in a pragmatic solution that is there for all players and helps us going further.
Great. Do we have any questions for Greenomy and Alex?
Yep. So question from my side, can you elaborate a bit on how you are going to the market? What kind of clients are your ideal customer profile? How are you approaching them?
Thank you, Jacek. So my name is François Guillaume. Hi, everyone. I'm replacing Alex, who's unfortunately traveling. I'm CFO at Greenomy. And happy to answer your questions. So basically our go-to-market strategy really depends on our ability to scale across the whole EU market, because it's the EU that adopted this new mandatory framework that requires a lot of players to report on their sustainability. 3 players: corporates, large first, but then progressively smaller in the next 5 years, and all the asset managers, investment funds, banks that either invest in them or give them loans. So basically, all these are potential customers. But they're all connected because they all need ESG data that comes from the company to report on the company's activities and on the portfolio sustainability. So our strategy is to rely, given the timing constraint, the first report is due in January, and we're about 1 year old. Our strategy has been to enter into strategic partnerships with distributors, and we managed to sign contracts with Deloitte, Accenture, and Bain. And to give you a flavor, our partnership with Deloitte will cover 5,000 corporates over the next 2 years. So basically, once you get the corporates on board, the platform becomes much more attractive for financial institutions because they can rely on the data to produce their own reporting. And this is reporting is just a foundation of our value proposition, because once the data is there through the reporting, there are many use cases in the fintech space with regard to enabling all these players to build a sound sustainability strategy towards carbon neutrality.
How far along, so you have these partnerships with Bain and so forth, how far along is the product from sort of an MVP standpoint? Like, how quickly can you get it in the hands of customers, or is it already there?
Thank you. So the complexity of our product will depend on the scope of the legislation, which will be triggered progressively. So for the first report due in January for very large companies, we're ready. We're already rolling out the product, onboarding our first customers since October, and ready for the reporting deadline. And we will progressively further develop the product so as to prepare for the next reporting deadlines and the new breadth of data that will be required. This is why we chose a SaaS model, to be able to constantly update as the legislation evolves.
Excellent. Any other questions for Francois?
Yeah, just a quick question from me. Hi, Francois. Good to meet you. So how much of this product is going to be automated, and how much manual input will you require for reporting?
Thanks, Karina. So with our first customers, some were kind enough to try the exercise manually, so without our platform. And for the first reporting that's due in January, it took them 7 full days with our reporting team. It was a large listed energy provider. And with our platform, it took them only 1 day. So basically, we reduced by 85% the time and roughly 90% the cost. There is this fraction that is still manual because they need to go on the platform and enter the data. We automatically then produce the score. But it's this part that's difficult to compress. We're working with partners such as SAP that would enable us to interoperate within the ERP systems of the company and automate further the 10% that are left up to as low as we can.
Awesome.
Francois, could you tell a bit more about your team and the experience you guys had previously?
Thank you, Jacek. So, I mean, this is also a good way to present our value proposition. Greenomy came started at the European Commission. I'm a former lawyer. I work in European law. Alex, the CEO, was an official at the European Commission in the very units that developed these new sustainability rules. And the overall assumption of Greenomy is that the new rules are very good for everyone, but they're complex, thousands of pages. So digital tools are needed for that. This is why we have set up a team. We have subject matter experts, for instance, lawyers such as Alex and me. We have our head of product who conceptualized the tool. He has a PhD in sustainable finance. And overall, today we are a team of 25 people based in Brussels, but also operating in other locations. We have 6 tech leads and developers and ESG expert data scientists. And a team of sales representatives, which is essential for us to scale across Europe and the different languages.
Excellent. Francois, thank you again. Thank you so much. Very interesting project, and looking forward to seeing what you guys create. This is pretty awesome. All right, next up we have Single.Earth. They're based out of Estonia, and they're post-seed. They've raised 8 million euros so far. Single.Earth is working on saving the world, starting from tokenizing nature for its ecological value, carbon sequestration, storage, and biodiversity. So let's show their video.
Hi, my name is Merit and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Single.Earth, and we make nature the new gold. The story of Single.Earth started about 2 years ago when me and my co-founder, we looked around us and we saw a lot of intensive forestry happening in our home country, Estonia. And we were wondering if there's anything that we can do to make it stop. So we looked deeper into the problem and we realized that the underlying issue is that the business models today only incentivize the destruction of nature, because the only way for a landowner to earn money from their natural resources like forests is by selling raw material such as timber. So if we want to see a change in how we manage natural resources in this world, We need to create alternative business models that, instead of incentivizing the destruction of nature, would incentivize the protection of it. Because nature is so much more than just raw material. It offers various ecosystem services, but also carbon sequestration to mitigate climate change, and also biodiversity as habitats for many species. So we need nature around us to protect the ecosystem that is keeping all of us alive. But none of these values have ever had any financial value in this world. And this is what we are about to change. So we tokenize nature for its ecological value, to assign financial value to ecosystem services such as carbon sequestration, biodiversity, and other similar properties. And we do that by digitalizing the world's nature. We built a digital twin of the world's nature to describe how nature works. We use satellite data, big data analysis, and machine learning to create global carbon and biodiversity models that show us what nature does. And based on that, we start tokenizing the ecological value of nature. Every time 100 kilograms of CO2 is captured in biodiverse nature, we emit 1 token to the landowner. And the landowner can sell it to a company that wants to compensate for the footprint, or to an individual investor or institutional investor that buys this as an investment into the future and trades with it to receive financial gain by creating a huge positive impact on the natural world around us. Nature-backed economy is brought to you by a team of 50 people coming from different tech companies such as Kahoot, Pipedrive, Microsoft, Skype, Wire, and also from different universities. So we have a huge science team that is building these carbon and biodiversity models. We are Single.Earth, tokenizing nature to create business models to incentivize nature protection all over the world.
And today we have Andrews with us from Single.Earth. And so if we have any questions for him, we can get started.
Hello.
Welcome.
I would love to have a question first. First of all, awesome idea. Really love what you guys are doing. Would love to understand how far is the product right now in terms of development? And do you have any customers yet? How does that work?
Well, it's the product development is a phase that we have hopefully done this 2 years of chasing our own tail and making the idea different and better. So we are doing the very first tests now in December, and we are sort of pre-live on the February, but we're gradually launching it because you're basically making a new asset class and then creating a stock exchange for trading with that. So there is a lot of learning to do during this scale-up process, and we're not going to be putting it on the open market anywhere before Q1 next year. But we have quite pipeline on both sides. So there are a lot of landowners who are interested because apparently they are not that much after destruction. There's actually quite decent landowners who happen to have hundreds of thousands of hectares of forest in Brazil, for example, and they are not that eager to cut because governments, after all, have done some job to make it more kind of painful for the companies. So the landowners, small and large, they're looking for some alternative revenues which do not include having everything cut down and dig up. And also the companies, because more and more companies are looking towards showing what they're doing to the nature, to their customers. And there are not that many instruments at the moment on the market which would allow you to do so. The carbon schemes and an offset market is one, but there are as many questions as answers around the offsetting market. So the new instruments which would actually tangibly reflect what has been done to the nature and where's that money going to, those instruments have to appear, and we are one of the first ones, seem to be, that will fill that gap. So
awesome. How do you guys think about monetization?
Well, we are making our money of facilitating this very first trade. So the rest of the business around it is to make it all possible. So we have a large team of almost 20 scientists which are building the models and then creating the frameworks, how to describe the ecosystem services and how to put this in in the numbers and models so that it could be put in the blockchain. And on the other hand, the rest of the trading platform is done so that it would be possible to sell somebody and to make money out of it. So our basically channel to make profit is to facilitate the first trade where a landowner gets paid for their ecosystem services. So we have premium there.
Got it. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Can you explain a little bit? I understand really well sort of the value proposition from a landowner standpoint. Explain to me, I guess, a little bit more around why someone would purchase one of the tokens.
Well, we have told last 15 years to the millennials that the world is going to end. And we have made it very clear for them that the world is going to end because your parent has been buying too many cars and too many cheap clothes and put all the plastic in oceans. And now all of a sudden, this generation is becoming a purchasing power. What we have told to that anything you buy will be making the end of the world one day closer than it was yesterday. And this purchasing power scrutinizes their vendors. A lot of them are buying secondhand clothes, and a lot of them are not buying anything at all these days because a lot of them are opting into the rental models, not wanting to own anything because we have scared the hell out of them to show that anything they consume is going to be bad. But we still want to sell something to them. So if we want to sell something to them, we want to show how is this money what they're paying to their vendors is going to end up with doing something good rather than just ending up at the bank accounts of the 0.1% of the society and then staying there. And well, going to Mars with it would be nice. And then colonizing the cosmos is probably good for the risk management of the humankind. But it's this kind of slowly overheating planet which we have sold to our children, and they want to see what we do about it. So I think this instrument is going to be demanded by those very millennials for the companies to show that where's the money going to.
Excellent. Andrews, thank you so much. Great concept, and we're looking forward to learning more about Single.Earth.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, staying in the same forest, we've got FOROS. They're coming out of Lithuania. Post-seed, they've raised 12 million euros so far. FOROS is an all-in-one platform for investing in forest, growing them sustainably, and selling internationally. So we want to show their video here.
Hello, FOROS brings smart data-based forest management and low-cost forest transactions to the world and can be scaled fast. There are at least 800 million hectares of private forests around the globe. Forestry is highly complex, inefficient, and closed. There are high barriers to entry, high transaction costs, and timberland investments are still considered to be an alternative asset class. The tools for forest owners to buy, sell, and manage their forests are either non-existent, extremely outdated, or focused on just one aspect. We look at forest owners not simply as landowners, but as financial and climate investors who want to predict and optimize their financial returns and carbon capture on each forest land. They need the data to be analyzed and presented in ways that would help them to make decisions faster and easier, without having in-depth technical and scientific knowledge. We do all the data crunching for them and connect them to the international forest owner and investor community. We are creating FOROS to make forest investments and management simple and accessible to everyone. We want to bring more investments into forests, to increase the global forest size, and to manage forests sustainably. We have facilitated 26 million euros of forest transactions since founding in 2017. Our plan is to reach 200 million euros in GMV in 3 years by entering Finland, UK, and United States. Forests are widely recognized as a central climate change mitigation solution. It is our role to protect forests, and acting now is more important than ever. Our team is experienced in forestry economics, forest investments, forest sustainability certification, real estate, mobile banking, IT development, sensors, and biometric systems. This summer, we have received a 1.2 million euro seed investment from local venture capital funds to finance our growth and will welcome additional funding. Let's make the forest investment revolution happen. Connect with us.
Great. And I do want to correct what I said earlier. I said 12 million. I think that is 1.2 million. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But welcome, Imantas. Any questions for the FOROS team?
I'm curious from sort of a investor standpoint, who you're sort of targeting or who's typically active on the platform. Are you looking for more? Is this kind of like crowdfunding platform for investing in forests, or is this more like other financial institutions, private equity, high net worth individuals, et cetera, kind of transacting in the buying and selling of forest land?
So it's actually both family forest owners, but also institutional forest owners as well. But our focus is sort of like we want to make it as simple so that a family forest owner would be able to make use of it. Because we are also seeing a generational shift of wealth from the older generations to the younger ones, and they need more convenient tools to manage their assets.
What kind of, other than, and correct me if I misunderstand it, but is the platform primarily focused around sort of like a brokerage model, essentially like facilitating transactions, or is it more around like an asset management model in the sense of like helping you manage your forest, or is it both?
Yeah, it's also both. So we're building sort of this rail for our company to develop. So we need to ensure cash flows first, and that comes from the brokerage model, and then we also help to asset manage it, but we don't charge fixed fees per fixed yearly fees. It's on the on-demand basis, basically.
What's the average value of a transaction on the platform, and how frequent are they happening?
So the platform, the system is already live, and you can buy and sell forests in Lithuania and Latvia, and we have traded, like we mentioned, 26 million euros in forest transactions, and we trade perhaps. We do like a dozen of deals per week. So, and then the average forest is about 5 hectares.
So how does it translate into value of the transaction?
So the value is it ranges. It's about 5,000 euros per hectare. Because it depends really on the age of the forest.
Are there any regulatory constraints you have to accommodate, like some restrictions on who can buy the forest and so
on? That's right. Yes, and we're meeting those. There are some restrictions about how much land you can buy and which countries you can come from and so on. And those are different in each and every country. And then also there are certain regulations, of course, about managing the forest itself, about replanting it and also restrictions about what can be done with the forest in certain areas, because they're simply protected by the state.
May I ask about your technology? Hi, first of all. In terms of understanding not the IP to the bottom, to the core of it, but maybe just the uniqueness. For example, what would it take to replicate it for someone else who may already have a significant presence in the market? Just generally understanding how you're building the tech side.
So it takes scientists to understand the forest growth models and
to accurately predict the way forests grow, and yeah, so it's a lot of know-how from within the industry, but we're simplifying it and making it usable for average user.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, great. Our next and final startup is Crassula. They're from Estonia, they're post-seed, and they are a cloud core banking software platform. So we're going to share their video now.
Hi, my name is Daria. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Crassula, a white label cloud software platform for launching fintech products. Today, with the tremendous growth of global digital banking platform markets and the value of the embedded finance market, we see a huge interest from companies of different spaces to launch their own banking or payment products or to embed fintech solutions into existing products. But the truth is that companies spend around 80% of all of the resources within the first year of the existence of the project. And there's still lack of solutions that help to launch products on the market fast. And that's why we've created Crassula, an all-in-one white label software that helps companies to launch their own banking, crypto, or payment products within 10 business days and with low budgets. We do that within several products. So the first one is the core banking system. It looks like this. We support both back office and the front-end solutions with mobile apps and web interfaces. We allow companies to issue their own IBANs, cards, to make transfers, to make SEPA and SWIFT payments. We also support KYC and AML solutions as well as financial monitoring. We also support PSP systems, which allow companies to offer merchants card acquiring, payouts to card subscriptions, and smart card routing with anti-fraud solutions, with admin panel for managing everything, and with interfaces for merchants to manage their payments. Here's the whole structure. We've talked about the products. Our target customers are either companies, fintech companies, which are starting out, or more mature companies, which are opening new revenue streams. We also support holding structures and resellers, and we plan to work with banks and family offices. We do everything with service providers, with our partners, which are actually providing the revenue streams or the financial flows, and we are in charge of the technical flows, or we build these technical solutions on top of the infrastructures which the companies like Currency Cloud or Rails Bank or Clear Junction or the Central Bank of Lithuania are providing. Usually our customers have to have the license, so they're either sub-licensing with someone or obtaining their own license. Here's more about the company. We're 3 co-founders and we're a team of 40 people. We're fully bootstrapped and we're a profitable company. We're currently servicing around 30 customers and we support 40 integrations with our partners. And our customers are servicing more than 6 million users. We've seen the 100% of growth in revenue year on year. And the main product for us is banking. If you would like to talk more about what we do and how we do that, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Excellent. And we have Daria here with us for any questions that you guys may have on the panel.
Well, I feel obliged to say to all of my Estonian fellows, tere. It's hi in Estonian. Good to see people from my country. Very, very interesting, and congrats again on building this tech. I just would like to understand better the competitive advantage. I keep asking the same question, but there are so many solutions out there that are proposing pretty much the same service. Are you targeting specifically particular markets, or your technology is different for the reasons that you may name?
Yes, sure. Thank you for the question, Karina. So we are usually really confused with companies like Rails Bank or Currency Cloud because they're providing the infrastructure. And the majority of the companies that you might mention, they do not provide anything in terms of products. So they do not work with front-end solutions at all. Our main competitive advantage is that we are providing all-in-one service, which is ready to be launched within a very short period of time, within 10 business days. We do not know the company which is capable of launching the products really fast. And since we're working with companies which are starting up, or the companies which are starting up a new project, it is crucial, the time to market is very crucial for them not to overspend the budget and for them to check the hypothesis as quickly as possible. The other advantage is, of course, cost. We recently have spoken to some of the experts which are used to working with banks, with the software for banks, and they said that usually for the banks it takes about 3 years to launch a new system or to implement something slightly new. It will take one year and will take millions of euros in budget. For us, that would be around 100,000 euros per year, and it's split it on the monthly fees.
What about your revenues at the moment?
So we're finishing this year with 2 million euros in revenues, and we're planning to grow twice next year as well.
And how much are you raising, and do you have any venture investors in the cap table at the moment?
No, we're bootstrapped. The company is wholly owned by the founders, and we're not planning to fundraise at least the next year.
Do you see competition from the next generation of banking as a service solutions like Sloane or Kubuk or some of the other ones? And also, how do you compare to Mambu?
Mm-hmm. So thank you for the question. So banking as a service solutions are our partners. So these would be the parties who are integrated into Crassula platforms and who we connect within the platform in order for other financial institutions to use them as a backend service providers. If comparing Crassula to Mambu is working with banks. We do not work with banks, we work with smaller financial institutions. And when I've mentioned that we are planning to work with banks, that would be probably some companies which are transitioning from their EMI licenses to the full banking licenses, or someone who is supporting the models when they are becoming banking as a service, when they are becoming providing the umbrella licensing and providing the services to other financial institutions. We are able to support that as well. Or that would be smaller banks, which are acting pretty much like the smaller financial institutions, which are launching neobanks.
Excellent. Any other questions?
How can we help?
Yes.
Yeah, so pretty much we are spreading the word and trying to be as transparent as possible, and also we are looking for different customers and partners. So if you have someone in your portfolio who is building their own banking or would like to complement their solutions with IBANs, we're mainly here for showcasing what we can do and how we can support different startups and financial institutions in order to do so. So yeah, if you have anyone, please feel free to contact me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Daria.
Thank you.
And now that kind of concludes all of the presentations. So we want to open up the next 5 or 10 minutes for general feedback and any specific questions you guys have for the individuals. So Colin with bots did have to jump off. And so we still have Whrrl, Greenomy, Single.Earth, FOROS, and Crassula.
I guess I'll jump in, just say thank you to all the participants for sharing your insights. Really, really cool. A bunch of fascinating companies doing really, really interesting things. Funny to see sort of two, I guess you guys have slightly different approaches, but two sort of Eastern European forestry based startups, which is kind of cool. But I think it was really interesting. It's great to see all the different kind of approaches that folks have to both fintech innovation, applying blockchain to things as interesting as sort of inventory, warehouse management, and agribusiness and so forth. So it's been fascinating to hear everybody's insights, and thank you to everybody for sharing them.
I guess from my side, I just wanted to say that it would be probably worthwhile for the guys to sit down and talk among each other for the startups from at least it was the green startups. It sounds like there is a lot of synergy among themselves. So good luck with for everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot everyone for the presentations and for the Q&A. I really miss the actual pitches, so not the videos, but rather having somebody pitch in real time. I think that's also part of the important skills founders need to have. I know that there's a lot of technical issues around it, and probably it's to optimize the whole experience for everyone. But yeah, I guess this is also something to be considered for the future for the organizers. I think it really adds a lot of value if the startups can pitch in real time.
Yeah, quick thank you also from my side. It would be great if there's a way of connecting or getting connected with the startups even after the event has been ended, in terms of either catching up, maybe even co-investment opportunities. So I'd love to stay in touch or get connected. And again, thank you so much for putting this together, and also for the startups to answer the questions and being so helpful in terms of giving us more insights of how you guys organized and how you guys solving the problems. Very, very exciting topics, and great to see that blockchain has reached so many different levels in terms of technology. I think that's exactly where the journey needs to go, and I think that's what we have to see moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much again. Thank you to the organizers of this and the tech team and the 15 people behind the scenes that are pushing the buttons to make this work. Again, I'm in agreement with all of you. I think there's a huge opportunity to connect here, add each other on LinkedIn. I know we're going to help with being able to connect both the jurors and the startups with each other as well. So we'll be able to help there. But absolutely great day. And thank you for those of you that participated in multiple sessions, and thanks for all the hard work that the startups put into these presentations. Absolutely incredible ideas, and I just get filled with energy being able to see people create from a place of passion and going after solving some big problems to help people as well. So thank you guys for letting me be a part of this. This is the end of the FinTech and blockchain session and the final one for the first day of the Founders Games. Feel free to explore around and watch the conference agenda. Still ongoing in the Webbit Global Impact Week. And we will see you again tomorrow for a new portion of Amazing Founders and Startups.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.